What advice would you give to a guy about to get into his first relationship? Don't become codependent. Have your own free time outside of the relationship. I wish I knew what it cold done to me before Mayo. Don't neglect your friends. Bro, my whole friend group cut off a dude cause he ghosted us for a girl he met on Tinder. Ducked all invites and efforts to hang out. Finally saw us and said his girl didn't want him to hang out with us. We are all hetero males and not a threat. Found after that was a lie. Kicker was he cheated on this girl and stayed ghost, then her and one of his other exes became friends and probably bonded over trauma from this guy. Some of the realest I've seen on this appies. Don't let fake friends bring you down, let them bring you closer to the real ones. Lol, my one friend who played PlayStation every day with us for 15 years. Always went out with us for food and was helped through seriously difficult mental health issues by the ones closest to him in our group. Literally went 100% missing the moment he finally got a GF. Bro was a serious shut-in. Damn near clinical. She cheated on him, dumped him and almost got pregnant by her ex. He came back for the first time in over a year, had zero contact during that year. Somehow she came back a few days later. He married her and disappeared again. Mayo, I'm indifferent toward the guy, but a lot of that group harbor serious resentment toward him now. A friend has a philosophy. Do not do things that make you unhappy. Apostrophe. Tell that to my wife when she asks me to watch Mama Mia. Never stop being yourself. Unless yourself is meth and murder. Then maybe don't be yourself. I'm not a doctor though. Every good dish needs a bit of spice. Old Spice. That begging for the bare minimum is not normal. U0001F972. What do you consider bare minimum? Respect. Feeling safe. Making someone feel appreciated. And reassurance, just to name a few. Don't be a pushover. Don't allow disrespect to your boundaries. But also be willing to work together with her on finding that acceptable compromise. Kind of common sense GBH. As commonsensical as don't be a pushover. Yeah. No. Try your best to communicate, even if you think something is obvious. It's not stressed enough what open communication can really mean. There will be times when you don't want to tell the honest truth. It might wound your ego, or it triggers insecurities. Or, like above commenter said, you think it's obvious. Or just you don't know why you feel the way you feel, etc. Try not to say things you don't really mean, or to argue in bad faith. Help your partner express their POV. Communication breakdowns are bound to occur. Try your best. Practice patience. Good luck. Never lose your self-respect, no matter however much you think you love them. Yep. It's a familiar scenario where individuals feel they're in love, and when you think you can't live without someone and sacrifice everything for them, it often leads to losing self-respect. It's crucial to avoid this trap. Yes. And your girlfriend will eventually have no respect for you either. And you'll think, wow, I thought you loved me, but you've only proven she's not right for you to the extent that you needed by walking yourself down a road that kept getting narrower and narrower until there was no road left to walk on. Just get off the road. Oftentimes as men we like to think women are deeper than this, but they aren't. If you don't respect yourself, they will not be able to respect you either. It really is black and white, night and day. I really think it is also generally a bad idea to tell a girl how you feel too much, and to tell a girl about your problems will surely make her think about them. Only ask for advice on your problems from your girl if they are directly affecting her behavior, or you are able to in a strong and constructive manner. Bro, are you okay? Learn to communicate, and more importantly learn to listen. Communication helps, but if you are not understanding them, then it becomes a problem. Also, learn to not be codependent. Have time for yourself and enjoy your own time by yourself. Friends, family. Take it from a guy who just got broken up with and now has to learn to be okay alone and mend relationships from distancing myself during the relationship. Besides that, never feel guilty for expressing your feelings/emotions. If the relationship doesn't work out, know you were capable of doing this and you should be proud. Control your emotions. How? Do it. Okay. Nobody is perfect. A real long-lasting relationship will have ups and downs. To reach intimacy you need to see and receive the shadow/fears of your partner and also share them. A little bit of toxicity is okay, as long as people work on it and it doesn't surpass any obvious global limits. We all need the opportunity to learn and heal. Put limits and move on whilst really working on it. If people don't work on it, or it is something fucked up like infidelity, at least for me, then that is when you should really be alarmed and maybe dip immediately. I feel like people have no patience nowadays because they have no tolerance. Have both. You'll learn about certain insecurities maybe you weren't expecting. That is okay. After all, no tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. Carl Jung. Fully get to know your partner to a level where you have had to face and overcome insecurities together rather than separate. Always being there includes being with each other even when we are hard to love/hurt each other. Take care of each other by imposing limits that both respect and that don't restrict each other's freedom unless absolutely necessary or for a transitional time period or something like that. Always consider the long-term plan of certain limits and what should or shouldn't stay the same. More than anything, enjoy it and take lots of pictures. You always regret not taking enough memory-inducing footage. Such important advice. Doesn't matter how good the grip is. Don't ignore red flags. Also, communication is everything. Don't lose yourself chasing after someone. Communicate thoroughly. Don't let someone else's desires shape your own. Don't depend on someone else to make you happy. 1. Have a source of income. 2. Have clear communication about your wants and needs. 3. Be an active listener to your partner. Put down your phone and be attentive. 4. Control your emotions when there are disagreements. 5. Your partner is not perfect. They will have flaws and quirks like you. 6. Forgive without hesitation. There may be a time where you will want to be forgiven for a mistake you will eventually make. The only exception to this is infidelity, in my personal opinion. 7. Control/manage any feelings of jealousy, especially if your partner has friends of the opposite sex. Remember that they were there before you came into the picture. 8. Sexual activity should be discussed openly and honestly before that phase. 9. Always take the initiative to be affectionate. This will help the relationship to grow. Added point number 9. Have boundaries. Don't let her abuse you. Don't abuse her. Communicate, goddammit. Don't stay up at night arguing. Nothing good comes from arguing while sleep deprived. Give each other space. Don't be clingy. Don't engage in bestiality, incest or cannibalism. You can have a little bit of cannibalism as a treat. Don't forget your friends. They are likely going to be in your life longer. Have patience with your partner. Everyone is raised differently, do things in a different way than you. Communication is so important. I would disagree with this to an extent. Patience is just a metric for folks to see how much they can disrespect you and get away with it. From experience, it enables a behavior of accept me as is, but you gotta change. There is a difference between patience, tolerance, boundaries, and all. Being patient when disrespect and also setting boundaries with patience will show someone that you are serious. Patience does not necessarily mean you put up with more disrespect. It has to do with not lashing out and then being able to explain what they did to hurt you. You can set boundaries with patience, but not everyone is going to respect them or not cross them again. They will find another way to do it times 10, especially if they know you're not a confrontational person. I'm not saying things should come easy because they won't, but if you have to find yourself being patient with someone, it's best to cut your losses at some point because that person is really that person in the end. Oh, definitely, like I said, being patient doesn't necessarily mean putting up with disrespect. If your partner cheats on you, you can break it off using patience instead of freaking out and smashing things. Patience is a tool to regulate emotion. A person owes it to themselves to handle a bad situation with a more level head and factual approach. Reacting with impatience might be what they desire, depending on how manipulative the person is. Don't be portable ATM. Never share about her wealth. She's not your wife yet. Treat her nicely, but don't spoil her with wealth yet. Make sure you understand consent is still a thing, even if you're in a relationship. Communicate. Trust your gut feeling, and don't be afraid to walk away. You can't fix every problem / everyone. Don't put up with any kind of abuse. Don't run behind them, treat them with respect sure, but do not shower all your attention. They will leave you empty. You'll experience the best high you can get, and also the lowest low. Don't constantly chase the high. That hit of warm fuzziness that only relationships bring can easily ruin you if you have an abusive partner. Don't constantly chase the low. This will happen if you're stressed out and have tried or can't try to talk to your partner. Know when to talk it out, but know when to end it. If there's an issue, have a conversation with a confidant. Several. If there is a strong opinion or a consensus of what's going on, that's probably what's going on. Sometimes love runs out. Sometimes it stays forever. Don't be afraid either way. Just because you're dating, it doesn't mean you have her now. Never stop trying. Never stop putting in effort. Don't try to go faster than she wants sexually. It could backfire, and she could break up with you for it. After you've been dating for a while, you should consider introducing her to your family. Whatever problem you encounter early on, you may see it pop up later on in the relationship. A lot of young guys are just focused on their own pleasure in bed. Make sure you please her. Big hard facts. Communicate. This includes expressing, listening and understanding. Do not assume they think the same way you do, or understand things the same way. Be nice, caring and respectful. Think twice then repeat. Talk and listen. Don't hide S, and don't be afraid to say no. You are not always right and they aren't always right. Communication is key to everything.